Hello, welcome to Tweet the Leader New podcast, where we chat about realistic leadership theories. On today's podcast, we invite individuals who are very innovative, who have strategic mindsets. And this other individual, he's a brother of mine, he's a great friend of mine, the
Much
amazing
appreciated.
Peter.
Holy smokes, what an
What's going
introduction.
on, man? What's going on, man?
What are you saying, brother? Thank you very much. Those are nice words to describe me, man. I appreciate that. Those are fantastic words to describe me.
You
But
know,
it's a lovely Saturday, man.
it's a lovely Saturday, you know.
Lovely
It's
Saturday.
actually the day of this recording is the 19th, Saturday the 19th. You know, it's always good to have a beautiful day. And in Halifax, it's cold outside.
It's
It's
cold.
not.
Holy smoke. Holy
it,
smokes, man. Oh my goodness. But checked out the balcony this morning. I was like, I'm all right. I might spend I spend
yeah,
a little more time inside today.
yeah, visualizing that there's going to be great things going on. But you know what? That's how we do it.
Hey.
Peter, this I think this episode is going to be recorded in 2023,
Oh
and this will be
dang.
launched out in
Okay.
2023. So I think this is really good to start off for 2023 when we think about innovation and when we think about creating purposeful goals and moving forward in life. And you're a person who has lots of innovation, lots of desire to move forward. I'm going to shift up the question to why are you so passionate? I think that's the real start of the question is like who is Peter and why is he so passionate about being in this world itself? Yeah,
Holy, thank you,
yeah.
man. So, who is Peter? I'm a simple guy, man. I'm born in Mississauga, Ontario.
Hmm.
I had fantastic parents. I got two sisters, one
Hmm.
older, one younger, so I'm the only boy.
Hmm.
Went to University of Ottawa, and then I kind of moved out east. I'm
Hmm.
living in Halifax right now, but I've lived in Moncton. I've lived in Fredericton. Blessed to be with my fantastic girlfriend Emma Nelson. Just
Yeah.
my other half for sure. She really holds it down for me. But who am I? Yeah, I'm a simple guy, man. I enjoy sports. I enjoy community, and
Hmm.
at the most, I enjoy giving back. Like
Yeah.
I really, really have a deep, deep desire to give, to make change, and to help people. A chief tenet of mine is
Hmm.
if you can help somebody, then
Right.
you should,
Yeah.
right? And it's super simple, but it kind of just comes down to a lot of the times we're in blessed positions where it won't take much to help somebody, and I believe that those are always the moments that you can. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. It's not a super
Mhm.
long, detailed answer, but it's just I'm a regular guy who just likes to give. Like really, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, just a regular person who likes to give and who cares. Like I genuinely and I hope if anything it comes across is that I care. Like I just genuinely care about
Yeah.
other people and about making the world a better place than it is today, than it was yesterday. So
You know, Peter, you know, innovation requires the giving, the knowledge sharing, the caring heart. And we talked about human approaches in several episodes back in having that human connection, that human approach is really important because it helps the innovation of life, the innovation of different tasks and projects to move forward. And I want to start with this next question is why does innovation matter? And how does it bring about a change for community ideas and bring it out into a broader perspective? Yeah, yeah.
hey, so innovation's important because we're always moving forward, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we always want to make tomorrow better than yesterday. And
Um,
oftentimes people say, don't reinvent the wheel, right? You often hear in your jobs and things, people say, don't reinvent the wheel. If it's already been done, replicate it. And I don't subscribe to that at all. I think always reinvent the wheel. When
yeah,
you can reinvent the wheel, innovate, make change. Like that's how change is done. If we just do what was done yesterday,
yeah,
nothing's going to be different,
yeah,
right? We have to change, we have to innovate, we have to think differently outside the box to figure out how can we make real impactful and lasting change, right?
yeah,
Because a lot of change has been made up to this point, but we're
Mm-hmm.
still a far ways to go in making change in a lot of different areas. And that's why innovation is so important, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not just on the leaders of the world, but it's on everybody. It's
Yeah.
on anybody who's out there, anybody
Yeah.
with a pulse. We've got to be thinking about how we can innovate, how we can change ourselves, how we can change our communities, how we can change society, and how
Right.
we can kind of move forward. So innovation, man, as soon as I saw that we were
Yeah.
talking about innovation today, I was excited because
Yeah.
innovation's so important. It's
Yeah.
so important to kind of to grow and to change and to be fluid and to be dynamic. It's a
Yeah.
dynamic world, man. It's not a static world.
Yeah.
Like things change every day. We've got to change with them, and that's kind of all about innovation, thinking
Yeah.
outside the box.
Man, I couldn't agree any better. Thinking outside the box, um, being open minded to different perspectives,
Mm.
being open to change. And you talk about that word change. And I want to hear what this change means to you, but I think it's really connected to when you're changing something, you have to know, why am I changing this? How is this change going to reflect and help me to move forward? And what are the benefits of this connecting with others who are surrounding me, and how this is going to be very positively contagious, that a lot of people else is going to want to be a part of this change and stuff like that. So why is change important to you from a leadership perspective, and have have you been changing a lot of things lately in your path of life? Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
two-part question. That's a two-part question. I
It's
just
a
throw at
two-part
you.
question.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's a two-parter. But first and foremost, what has been changing in my everything, man, everything. I
yeah,
try to, I like adventure and I like change, like I've talked about before. I
yeah,
think it's important to change to grow,
yeah,
right? We
yeah.
grow when we're uncomfortable. We grow when there's change. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I try myself to always be stepping into something that's a little uncomfortable,
Yeah,
always be moving and being thoughtful in my actions, being deliberate for being uncomfortable so I can grow, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of growth and change can almost be synonymous in the sense where it's change equals growth to me.
mm-hmm,
Anytime there's change in my life, that's an
yeah,
opportunity for me to grow.
yeah,
Anytime there's change in most people's lives, you can look at it two ways, right? Like change
yeah.
can be bad sometimes, but you can always find the good from change. So
Right, right.
why not try and be the best version of you? And the best version of you can't be the last version, right? It's got to
Yeah,
be a different version. You got to keep expanding and growing. So
yeah,
that's why change to me is so important because I'm a I'm very goal oriented. I'm very future oriented. Like I'm thinking about what I can do to set myself up, what I can set my family up, what I can set people in my life up, the community. Like I'm thinking about how we can be better,
yeah,
and that comes from changing. It comes from growing, right? We're
yeah,
never there. You're
yeah.
never there. There's always room to grow. There's always room to change. So that answers that piece of the question. Then I will have to, my memory's not, I'm gonna have to ask you to ask the other
No,
part of the
the
question one
last, the
more
other part
time.
of the question. No, no, that's okay. We're all busy innovators, so I think our mind always run on
It's
thinking
always
about
think about
multiple
something.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the part two question was like, what are you doing to change in this current way of life, of work that you're doing, and all the past? How are you changing now in this area of life? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
amazing. So the biggest change for me has actually been the work I'm doing and getting involved in the Black community. So
yeah,
since I've come to Nova Scotia specifically, so I got here last, it's just been over a year now that I've been here.
yeah.
The I didn't know about the Indigenous Black Nova Scotian communities and
Yeah.
culture that's here in Nova Scotia. And it's so rich. And I have been blessed that when I got here, I had members of the Preston area community
Hmm.
reach out to me and hold me tightly and say, hey, like you're here, we're
Wow.
taking care of you. I had lost my grandfather earlier this year, and he would have been 98 this year. So a
Hmm.
long life, but we were extremely close. I
Hmm.
grew up with my grandparents very closely. So
Yeah.
when they wrapped their arms around me, the folks at the Preston area, and some of them are a little older, I said, you know, this means a lot to me because I had that relationship that I've lost.
Right.
And
Right.
that last year and this year have been catalysts for me making changes. So I've been getting out in the community. I've been doing through my work as a commercial banking account manager. I've been trying to do financial literacy lessons. I've been trying to meet leaders in the community,
Mhm.
understand what they need,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of how I've been looking to make the changes. I don't want to assume anything needs to be changed. I want to
Yeah.
talk to the people who would benefit from this change and say,
Yeah.
how can I help you? What can I
Right.
do for you? And that's chiefly how I've been impacting change. It's getting into communities and saying, what do you need? You know, I met with somebody and I was like, what are you interested in? And they talked about wanting to work in banking. So through
Mhm. Mhm.
connections with the right people, they were able to get a job with the bank, right? It's
Yeah.
things like that where I can't be the one to tell anybody what they need. I've got to figure it out through them, and then once I figure it out through them, that's how I make that change. So it's been all over. It's financial literacy. It's presentations I'm doing on diversity at work.
Yeah.
It's helping people get in touch with the right people so they can be hired. It's dreams and goals that I've been creating on the side that are going to impact the youth and
Yeah.
encourage them to grow in their careers. All these things all come from listening, right? They all come from listening. We got one mouth, but we got two ears, right? So
Woo!
I've just been trying to listen more, and then that's how I've been trying to make my change is listen to what people need and then help them out with that.
Man, whoa! You just spoke into my connection on my promo, which is really dope. I
I'm
I think
glad.
I have this promo that I did on our recording day where I talk about listening and how listening makes impactful conversations, because when we listen, we think about the word impact. We're
Hmm.
identifying what we're listening and how that's going to bring apart change to both of
Exactly.
us in the conversation. And then
Exactly.
we're measuring the successes of this conversation. We're thinking about being present, the P, being present in the moment, and
Yes,
creating
man.
that space to listen to that individual, to hear them out, and to think about the word A, accepting
Hmm.
that what you hear, it may hurt, bruh. It may
Yeah.
hurt, but it's going to be impactful
And
to
that's
show
the
that
reality.
to show the
Yes.
connection and stuff like that. And then you think about the
Yes.
C. Oh man, you have to create that space in order to welcome everything in, and allowing that person to be so vulnerable and bring their authentic self in that way. And then the last thing is the T, making sure you're timing yourself to listen. Don't think about the time. Sometime just be in the moment, just listen, and just hear the other person out, because a lot of people just want to be heard, man,
Hmm.
when going into that. And we're talking about innovation, which is really good. But it thinks about when you're innovating, you have to listen in order for people to talk about the innovation, in order for change to happen, in order for you to think about different ways of logistics. I was speaking
Exactly.
with a friend of mine, and one of the things that they said is like, Tyler, you just have to listen to me first. Don't think about the logistical
Emma
part.
says that to me.
And that's so true. You have to think about
Yeah.
the I think about the logistics every time someone talks to me
Hmm.
about an innovation or idea. I say, okay, let me just be in this moment and let me just listen to them, because they want to pour their passion out and they want to pour themselves out so that they can feel heard, and stuff like that. Why do you think it's important for people to feel heard? I would say. Why do you think it's important? I'm
Excuse me.
going in
So
so much directions with this
no,
question, but I
no,
appreciate
it's
myself
I
being
love it.
true
No,
to
because it's
myself right
important.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like
And
this is good.
you're good. Like I feel like when talking to you, you bring a lot of different perspectives. So I had to
Thank you.
bring you on to, to
Thank you.
to
Thank
hear
you.
this. So I go back to that question. Why do you think it's important for people to feel heard? Yeah.
Man, feeling heard is feeling seen, right? Feeling
Mm,
heard is feeling understood. Feeling heard is feeling connected to. It's feeling understood. It's everything.
yeah.
You can on the one side of things, you can't be the person you want to be if you're not heard. How can you, when you're telling somebody something and they're not listening to you, right?
Mm,
How are you able to get what you need? And that's kind of as a listener, as the person listening,
mm,
that's why I
mm,
always think it's so important to listen to people and to hear them and to hear them for what they're really saying is people I've always believed people will tell you what they're feeling. People will tell you what they're thinking. You just got
That's
to
true.
ask and you just got to listen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, it's so important to listen to what somebody's saying because that's their truth.
Yeah.
Whether or not you believe it, whether or not you agree with it,
Yeah.
somebody's truth is their truth. Somebody's
Yeah.
reality is their reality. So if they're not feeling heard,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter if I say, "Oh, but I heard you. I'm listening to what you're saying. Like I understand what you're saying." It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Like it's important to really make sure that somebody feels heard because that's when collaboration happens. And when collaboration happens, man, magic happens. Like you really gotta work together. Like this is a world, and I not to go on off a tangent, but this is a
No, go
world
go
where
ahead, man. Go ahead. I love it. I'm loving this right now. Go ahead.
thank you. Like this is a world where we don't have enough collaboration. You know, we don't have enough listening. We don't have enough
Mm-hmm.
authentic, real collaboration, authentic, real listening. A tagline of mine that I like to always say when I meet anybody, everything I do is it's about authentic change. It's about being
Mm-hmm.
authentic. It's about authentically listening.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can sit there and listen to you and be on their phone or sit there and listen to you. We all been there. You're in a
Yeah.
class and your eyes are glazed, you're
Yeah.
listening, but you're not taking it in, right? But real listening, that's when the magic happens. That's when people start to feel, like you mentioned, that's when people start to feel heard. When people feel heard, they open up. When people
Yeah.
open up, they get to what's at their core. When you get to somebody's core, that's when, again, that's when the magic happens. That's when the important dialogue happens. And that's when you make change. And everything that in my life, I'm about making change, authentic, real change. And I
Wow.
can't do that. And no one can do that in my mind if you're not listening to somebody and understanding what they're going through to be able to help them. So I don't know if I kind of skirt
No,
around the
bro.
question a
You
little
just
bit,
you
but I
no, bro.
hope.
You just took it to a whole different level. You just took it to a
Oh,
whole different level,
good.
which is really good. I'm going to switch up the question. I feel the need because I feel like we're both conversationalists, and I think that brings it into
Yeah.
a whole different perspective. But why does passion lead to better results? I think that's a thing that people don't hear is that, oh, I'm so passionate, but how does passionate being passionate helps with the ingredient of doing what you want to do in this life, and where does the results go?
Yeah, so I really believe you can't do anything. Well, you can, but you're not going to do it as well as you could without passion. Passion is that extra piece to the equation. It's the extra
Mm,
spice to your meal. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
can do anything without passion, right?
mm,
We all went to school. We all did things in school we didn't like. We all do
yeah,
things in our jobs sometimes we don't love. And
yeah,
if you're honest with yourself, you know that stuff isn't it's not as impactful, right? If
no,
we're going to stay on that theme of being impactful, it's
yeah,
not as impactful as if you're passionate about it, right? Like
no,
I can do anything at work because somebody's told me to do it. I can do anything because a friend has asked me to do it, or I can do
no,
anything because I'm in a class and I have to.
mm-hmm,
But everybody knows. And that's why this is an easy one, right? Because
yeah,
everybody knows when you really care about something,
yeah,
when that fuel, when that fire, when your spark is lit by something
yeah,
and you're putting that into your work and your actions, there's
yeah,
nothing stopping it. There's
no,
nothing. Like for everybody, like think about what everybody loves something different, right?
yeah,
Some people love football and basketball, some people love music and art, some people love history and reading. Think
yeah,
about everything. Every part of you, everybody knows it. Anytime you've done anything
yeah,
exceptional, you've
yeah,
been passionate about it, man.
yeah,
I think about myself, like I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about giving back. And now I'm starting to see the results. My
yeah,
passion was really ignited when I met the people in the Preston area, like I mentioned.
mm-hmm,
And it's taken off. I've always thought about giving back. I've always thought about caring, but my passion really needed to be ignited for me to
yeah,
get and do something that was making a difference, right?
right,
I'm passionate about basketball.
yeah,
Man, when I got real passionate
drip,
about
drip,
basketball,
drip.
that's when I started getting good at basketball.
That's
Before I was
right.
passionate, because I was tall, right? I'm like
Yeah,
6 foot 1.5, and
yeah,
I've been this tall since I was young.
yeah,
So I played basketball because everybody like, you're tall, so you just play basketball. And I played,
yeah,
and I was bad. It didn't matter that I was tall. I was bad. Grade five, I was bad at basketball, but
yeah,
I developed a passion for it. I watched it. Magic Johnson is my favorite basketball player. I
yeah,
watched him play. I watched highlights. I watched him on NBA Hardwood Classics, man. And
yeah,
that passion is what drove me to become a better basketball player and then play through my high school. Right? That
Hmm.
passion is what ignited me, and it's in every asset of your life. It's in every facet. It's everywhere in your life. It's if you're passionate about something, you know that's what takes your work to the next level. It takes what you're doing to that next level. So everybody's got to find their passion. Sometimes you don't even know that it is what it is. It just and that's where listening sometimes comes in. You listen to somebody talk about something, you say, you know what? I'm actually really passionate about that. Like I heard this person talking about their passion, and that's helped me ignite mine. Like when we talked Templeton, when we first met,
Yeah.
and we went out for a drink, and we went out for I think scones or something
Yeah, yeah,
at
coffee. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
coffee and
Chai
coffee.
latte, chai latte. No, no, chai,
Yeah,
chai,
chai. You got the
chai,
chai.
chai,
I think
yeah,
I got
chai.
something like a peppermint tea or
Yeah,
something. But
yeah, yeah,
when we went there, man, and I was talking to you and
yeah,
hearing your passion and listening, right? That helped spark my passion. That
yeah,
helped spark my passion again. And then as my passion sparked for
yeah,
making a change, it made me want to go out and make more change. Like meeting you and chatting with you made me want to make more change. And it's
yeah,
because you fed that passionate flame, man. And
yeah.
that's what it's about is if somebody feeds your passionate flame, whether it's somebody else, whether it's you yourself, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
The sky, whoa, is indeed the limit.
Yes, sir.
Bringing when I met you as well, I felt like the connection was so impactful, and it brought the passions together. To say, oh yeah, he's my brother now.
Yeah, I
It's
got a boy for
official.
life.
Yeah, like, and then like you ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere. Like, and that's how I feel. But and that's what passion does. It brings people together into a space to make contagious innovation, to make a lot of positive things, to go out there into community and to do a lot of amazing things. I think I can generate one another question is how do you generate more good ideas and avoid the bad ones? I think that you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of good ideas, and then there's a lot of other bad. I mean, I don't think there's a bad idea. I mean, in my realistic way of thinking,
hey, sometimes there are a couple
sometimes you
bad
gotta be
ideas, but
realistic. It's
most
not
of
be
the time I know
over
what you mean.
dramatic
Yeah.
here, a little bit. But how do you generate more good ideas and avoid the bad ones? I think that's a larger question that can bring a whole different perspective. But
Hey,
you take it how you take it.
I'll take it out. So like we talked about, man, it's the power of positivity. I'm a little
Yeah,
bit of a wrestling fan, and the New Day always talk about the power of
yeah,
positivity, man.
yeah,
It is, and it's true. Like the power of positivity is a real thing. It's a powerful thing. Like
yeah,
you have to. There's a lot, and speaking from experience. So to get a little more serious and real for a second, man. I like growing up. I was passionate about a lot of things. I wanted to try a lot of things, and I wasn't supported the way I needed to. My family was great. My schooling was not.
yeah,
I didn't get the best grades in school. I remember my grade 12 teacher asked me my grade 12 math teacher asked me what I wanted to be in life, and I said I wanted to go into finance. Like she's like, what do you want to do like after school? And I said I wanted to go into finance. And she looks at me and says, there's a lot of math in finance. Like, are you sure that's what you want to do? Kind
wow,
of dissuade me from it, right? And I said, you know what? Like, yes, it is. And
yeah,
here I am years later in finance, doing
yeah,
fine, doing my thing and helping the community out while I'm a
yeah,
finance guy.
yeah,
So you can't, it's, you can't listen to them. You're gonna, like, bad ideas are gonna come from
yeah,
yourself and from others,
yeah,
right? From yourself and from others. You just
yeah,
gotta learn from them. It's water off a turtle's back. I think that's the saying, but
yeah.
it's
It's your
you
saying
yeah,
now.
that's my yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I say now.
yeah,
But it truly is right. It's
yeah,
you can't let that stuff affect you. The amount of times, and I know Templeton because we've talked about it.
yeah,
I know, and anybody as passionate as you are and is making the change you are, I know you face the same things, man.
yeah,
The people, the naysayers, the people who say Templeton is a bad idea to start a podcast. Templeton is a bad idea to do this.
yeah,
Man, it's the same people telling me, Peter, it's a bad idea to become a banker. It's a bad idea
yeah.
to get a sleeve tattoo if you want to be a banker. It's a bad
Mhm.
idea to get your dreads if you want to be a bank. There's always somebody telling you it's a bad
Dictating, yeah,
idea.
trying to dictate you to tell you
Trying
what
to tell
society.
you
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, man. Trying to tell you this is a
Bro,
bad idea. That's a bad idea. Nah, they're not.
no,
Execution, idea, passion, like we talked about, passion.
yeah,
Those are the things that make bad ideas into good ideas. Yeah, there are some bad ideas. I'm not gonna walk into a NBA arena and try and run on the court if I want to make a team. That's a
No,
bad idea,
that's a bad
right?
idea.
That's a
Yeah.
bad idea. But you know what, man? If you practice, if you find the logistics of it, if you learn from trainers and like you can do any like you know what I mean? It's a silly example, but it
Yeah,
rings from a true
it's a
place
good one. Yeah,
that yes, there are bad ideas when they're not fleshed out, but there are no bad ideas when you put your heart, your soul, a little bit of logic, a
yeah,
little bit of thinking, right?
yeah,
We can't just
hmm
act on our passion and our heart and our soul.
yeah,
You gotta use your brain. You got
yeah,
both,
yeah,
right? You gotta use them. But if you do,
hmm
then there's no bad ideas.
yeah,
There's no bad ideas. You have a plan. You have some passion. You have
yeah,
some guidance. You're going
yeah,
to seek help. You're not going to quit. Then there
yeah,
are no bad ideas.
yeah,
Don't listen to the bad ideas. So that's how do I generate more good ideas and less bad ones, man? I don't listen to the bad ones. If I
yeah,
have it in my mind, and I think, Peter, it's a bad idea, then I try to flesh it out a little more.
yeah.
If somebody else tells me, hey, Peter, this is a bad idea, I listen, right?
I
It's
love.
important to listen.
Yeah,
I listen,
yeah.
but I don't take it.
No,
I say thanks for telling
that
me,
sounds like me. Yeah,
but
yeah.
then let me thanks for telling me,
Let
but
me
I'm all
make that
right.
decision. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like thanks for telling me, but I'm all right. Like
That's right.
I've planned, I've done all these things. If you don't
Yeah,
think it's a good idea, that's cool. We don't all agree,
yeah.
but I think it's a great idea. I've planned it, and I'm gonna work at it.
And
So a little
yeah,
bit of heart, a little bit of passion, a little bit of listening,
yeah,
everything innovation, everything we talk about, you add it all up.
yeah,
If that's your plan, man, anybody, that's a good plan. Go out there and do it. Just use both. Use both organs. You got the heart and the brain. It can't just all be heart. It's got to be a little
no,
brain too. But
no,
yeah,
no.
that's how I feel about the good ideas and the bad, man. I'm passionate about that because, like I said, man, like we, especially as black men, like we've heard that way, way, way too often.
Yeah,
You this is a bad idea because of this. This is a bad idea because of that.
yeah,
You can't do this because who you are. You can't do that because of what you do. You can't do this because of the way you look like or the way you talk or the way you've done this. Those are bad ideas, and I don't care nothing about those are bad ideas. You tell
yeah,
somebody they can't do it, it's a bad idea.
yeah.
I've said, hey, you can't do this yet. You can't
Mm,
do this, you're not there yet. There's
yeah,
things you might need to get there. That's a different story,
yeah,
right? And that's where I say the two organs, the heart and then the brain. It's like you want something, but you're not there yet. But
yeah,
bad ideas, man, water off the turtle's back, if that's the saying or if that's my saying. It's water off the turtle's back, man.
yeah,
You can't give those any energy. You can't
no,
feed none of that. It's just positive vibes only. It's
yeah,
heart, it's passion, it's a little bit of logic, a little bit of thought, but
yeah.
man, forget those bad ideas, man.
That's right. That's right. You said it clearly. I don't even have to go on and build upon that. Like you said it in your own unique way, and that is so true, man. I've had you've heard my story, and we've talked about my
Mhm.
story about me going through a path of academia as well, and having challenges in academics, and knowing that I didn't allow that to stop me from knowing who I am and where I was going, and knowing that I had like those teachers who tried to bring those bad ideas into I couldn't do this, but didn't allow that to dictate my future and allow that to say, oh, I can't do this. Yes, I agree with you in that statement as that, oh, you can listen to someone,
Mhm.
listen to them, hear them out, but allowing you to be that final individual to make that decision for yourself because you don't want to blame another person for the decision that you didn't take. Like
Exactly.
and that's really important
It's your
that
life.
yeah, it's your life.
It's your life.
You think about that. So innovate, and as you continue to move forward in this 2023, you know that you are walking in your innovational purpose, and you are
Hmm.
moving forward, and you have don't listen to the naysayers. They will be there.
Always.
They will be there cheering you on, even when they didn't think that you could have do it. You could have done it, but they will cheer you on still. They will be jealous, and that will come. But at the end of the day, innovate, innovate. 2023, the year. I said it so like double twice just now. 2023, the year of innovation.
The
And
year of
we
innovation.
speak that into your life as you continue to move forward in your area of leadership. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
There's someone that say Tia Opchaw, CEO and founder of Black Women in Excellence. She said in one of our episodes that no means new opportunities, and
Hmm.
I take that as a way of this podcast is that when you are thinking about innovation, don't think that your no to that innovation is no. It's new opportunities, helping you to think about other ways to grow. And you know what, Peter, this has been an amazing episode. Before we end, we always invite our leaders in our community builders and persons who come onto this space to leave us with a tip, quote, or saying that's going to inspire us all to move forward in this life. So, what is that tip, quote, or saying that you have that's going to inspire us?
Man, my tip would be authentically, unapologetically you. Be
Mm,
you.
yeah,
Have faith in you.
yeah,
There's gonna be a whole lot of no's.
yeah,
Doesn't matter what you want to do.
yeah,
If you want to be the biggest person in the world or the smallest, there's somebody out there who's gonna tell you no.
yeah,
Have have the wisdom to listen and
yeah,
to understand when to listen,
right,
but have the passion, have the self-confidence, and have that secureness in yourself, in you being authentically you,
yeah,
that you can do what you set yourself out to do. I fully believe that. I believe everybody can really do what they set out for themselves.
yeah,
If they've got the passion, if they combine both them organs, the brain and the heart, if you combine those both, you got the passion for it, you can do anything. So that would be my only thing is just be unauthentic, be authentically,
hmm,
unapologetically yourself. That's
yes,
all.
wow,
Thank you,
and I,
brother. Like I
yeah,
appreciate not to jump in here for
no,
the
no, no,
host,
no, no,
but
no,
I just appreciate you having me on your platform to speak on
yeah,
innovation, speak on positivity, speak on all these great things, man. And what you're doing is fantastic for the community. It's fantastic for not just the Nova Scotian community, the largest community at hand, right?
yeah,
This is
yeah.
a podcast that can reach many people. It's impactful to many people and it's
Mhm.
relatable to many. So keep shining like you do, brother. And I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate though the neighborhood conversations is another podcast that I will love to welcome you on to that platform. It's good when I can say I manage this podcast, Tweet the Leader in You, but I combine both together because it's having diverse conversations. It's bringing it all in one. But I'm present in both. And so now that I'm present, this is my baby. Tweet the Leader in You is my baby. It will always be my baby.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I have the merge both together because it's all about the neighborhood, going into neighborhood, having conversations, bringing it all together, and telling the story. Knowing that story is one of the key components of this podcast, Tweet the Leader in You, and knowing how it brings this all together for change. Thank you so much. And audience, thank you for listening in, and we'll see you at the next episode.
Respects. Take care, man.